Right, we'll do the last one now, which was my ugly point. And my ugly point is this. It's a bit vague, so there's plenty of angles you could go with on this one. It's basically CSGO pros who were actually good at CSGO. It wasn't like the CLG players where they just had no offers left and they didn't want to play at tier 1 million. So they went to Valorant, understandably, and tried to join actual pro teams and get a job and be a personality or be a coach, whatever. I get why those guys did it. More power to them. Do whatever you need to. It's the players. It's the Nitros, Ethan. You put them all on the list if you want, Nivera, a bunch of players where they went to Valorant and they definitely could have kept playing CSGO. Some of them even were in CSGO in top teams, but essentially they chose, I'm going to go to Valorant. And the reason I picked this as ugly is because just like Nitro and just like you've seen what happened to people like Steel, etc. in Valorant, I predict, and I predicted this ages ago, you're going to see a really awkward solo comeback where they're going to crawl back to CSGO. And you're going to see this. The joke is this. Everyone else is going the other way. Watch out. Simple might just go and play fucking Valorant. First of all, dickhead, he wouldn't last a minute in Valorant. He has literally cheated in CSGO and said some of the most heinous things ever on a mic and in a camera. He is not fit for a Riot game. You haven't thought that one through at all. But more importantly, he obviously isn't going to Valorant, is he? He's in CSGO. But my angle is this. I'm expecting more will come back. I actually think, like, any of them that are out there, look, there's certain ones, again, that I almost put in the other category. Like, if you also never really made it, like, if you're like Som and Tens, CSGO maybe for you wasn't even something you really had as a dream. Maybe you only briefly sort of tested that world and you never got enough of a taste. You really have to come back. Because what I get the vibe of is, one, and I've said this many times, people are in denial, you ask any of these players, I'd love to see what Maui and David are going to say because they know these people. You ask any of the people I'm talking about, they'll even tell you privately, like, nah, it's not really that good a game, actually. Like, I hope they'd improve it over time. Like, the maps never really got good. Like, there's literally players I play in this game I know sucked in CSGO, but they can sort of like flash themselves into spots and do shit with the ultimates and stuff. Like, they have so many complaints. And then also, you see all these problems they're having at every fucking LAN they try to organise. And because they literally did Babby's first MOBA as their entire claim to fame at Riot Games, they also have the whole thing where it's like, oh, what do you mean? We're playing online, guys. Why is that not like LAN? Like, oh, fucking, do we have to explain this to you? Like, it's supposed to be a game you play on 5 ping, you moron. I can't be on 30 and him on 10. Like, this isn't League of Legends. This isn't fucking children's games, is it? It's actually sports. So the problem is basically, I think the whole grass is greener thing, that is going to turn so badly in the next year. And you are not only going to see some more names come back, but the reason I picked it as ugly is because, one, ultimately, they'll look back and go, why? What did I actually leave for? Like, what was I hoping Valorant would be? And also, when they come back, here's the really bad news. We're all going to assume they're all going to come back and be awesome. You never know that. I tell you what, it is so dangerous to ever take an extended break from Counter-Strike, to ever retire from Counter-Strike. If you ever want to do a comeback, dude, most comebacks don't work. They don't ever get back to that level again. So you might all think like, oh, if Ethan came back tomorrow, it'd be a bit... I don't fucking know that, mate. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that as a guarantee. You can't know. I want to know where you guys are at on this one.
You go first, Alex. I know you follow Valorant.
There were a lot of players on top teams. I would say I knew at least 1 to 2 players on every top 7 team in the NA Valorant space that at the beginning of the game was like, yeah, this game is worse, but I'm here for the bag and to try it out, But like, there was plenty of complaints. I just had a lengthy discussion with Floppy about all the flaws of Valorant as a game. So I know people were not in on it. And yeah, there's a grass is greener thing, and there's a just chasing the bag, seeing if you can create a career out of it. It obviously worked for certain people like Wardell. He's got a huge following now, like one of the biggest streamers in the space, and it's a little bit. I think I'm a little bit bitter about it, because it would have been nice to see him on Liquid as that offer that they needed. But in terms of his career, good for him, and because I think he enjoys it. He's probably one of the few that do. But with regards to the people that probably want to come back, which is happening more and more now. Yeah, there's no way to be certain that you still have a place here, or just that the heights that you actually probably reach in Valorant. So I'll just pick one player. I'll say like Moose, for example. Like, Moose was a player that didn't really like switching to Valorant. He made it pretty clear on Twitter, and so I shouldn't be blowing anybody's mind. Okay. And he's been on Luminosity for a while, and for a while they were looking like a top 5 team in North America, but that's fallen by the wayside. They're not looking that strong anymore. I'm not even 100% sure he's still on the team, but he was looking like one of the best rifle prospects in North America. I think Davey could attest to this, that people really wanted Moose on a better team for a while.
In CSGO?
Yeah, in CSGO.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
He's super likable personality as well. Just very chill. He's not going to cause any problems on a team ever.
Right.
He's very chill. He'll do what you ask. Like, yeah, he was good. He was a smart player.
He was reading to me like the next Breeze because he was just super.
I wouldn't go that far, but he was good.
Like, it was like the trajectory for me was similar. It wasn't that he obviously never reached those heights, but it's just one of those things where now if he wants to make a transition back, not that I'm saying he's going to be the one, but anybody in his kind of position, not everybody can pull off the floppy. Like Floppy's come back and he actually looks really freaking good, but you know, some people are coming back and they're just kind of not looking too hot in MDL now. You know,
not everybody gets to be thrown back straight into their CS comfort zone either, though, right?
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
Like Floppy just gets to go back and play with all of his friends who he's played with the whole time in the exact role that he wants.
Same for Nitro.
Right? Yeah, like it's the same with Nitro exactly. Not everybody's going to get that opportunity when you come back. So that's one aspect of it for sure.
No, you could keep going. I mean, that's part of my piece.
Yeah, so I think that like the main thing for CS players that switched over, like you were saying, was either old guys who just wanted to make their money. There's like, okay, I'm done in CS. I'm pretty washed now. Let's go do something else. I have a big brand, big name. I can go make some money over there. It's people who were either tired of, they didn't want to have to do the CS online COVID era thing. Because for Valorant, if you wanted to just stay at home and play professional Valorant for months, you could do that in NA. You couldn't do that for CSGO, right? Yes. So that's one aspect of it. People who were like homebodies or who had girlfriends that lived in North America, or, you know, for example, if for Nitro's case, again, he's a really good friend of mine. I didn't ask him any of these questions because honestly, I don't want the info because I don't want to accidentally say it, but I could assume that the fact that he was starting a young family and his wife was going to be at home in Louisiana. Exactly. I'm assuming those things definitely played a role in the original decision making for, do I want to be living in Europe 6 months a year when I'm just having a baby right now? Probably fucking not, right? Like probably not. Again, I haven't talked to him about it. I don't know, but probably not. I'm sure that was a factor. So there's things like that. And then I think the CSGO players that are coming back, if you notice, it's all the players who don't really vibe with that culture. Like, you know, like obviously like Nitro coming back, Floppy coming back. The CSGO players who switched over and are staying there are the like, you know, your Tens, your Psalm, Ethan, sort of like the best way, especially with some the weeby guys, you know, they're like, oh man, I'm really into like all this cool shit. Like, oh wow, dude, there's this video game and there's this thing flying over here. Wow, this is so sick. It's just like that anime that I watch. Like, those are the guys who are staying in Valorant. Yeah. The people who are slowly coming back out are the people who aren't in that culture at all. So I think that is more like the sort of, I guess, like the real the traditional sports guys, the competitors, the guys who, you know, they don't like the fact that they're not allowed to talk shit to the other team out of LAN, you know, like stuff like that. Those are the guys who are coming back, I think. And I think that is very much, there is just a huge cultural difference between the player bases of Valorant and CSGO. And I think that a lot of those guys are coming back, not only for that reason, but also when they went over, they were probably tired of the COVID period. You know, they were tired of online CS. They, you know, there was lots of external factors. And I think now that those external factors that may have just nudged their decision making are slowly going away is why we're seeing them coming back slowly.
But I'll bet a load of those guys, especially because in Valorant they haven't yet powered up to have a LAN that was anything comparable to like the big LANs in CSGO. I bet some of those guys just watched the major and were like, fuck.
Yep.
Fuck. Yep, I could be on one of those teams.
Dude, think about it. Okay, so Twists, he went to FaZe, right? He has a girlfriend who lives in Europe, moved in with his girlfriend in Europe, so he went to go play for FaZe. If his girlfriend lived in North America, I could almost fucking bet you he's on a Valorant team instead of on FaZe. So like that, and again, I'm obviously speculating, but I think that's super likely. I think that's super likely that a guy like that would have been prime to go play at some top Valorant team if he had a girlfriend who lived in North America, or if he didn't have a girlfriend in Europe even, and he just wanted to be at home, I think he would have been playing Valorant instead. But because not only was he one of the best Counter-Strike players in the world, which means European teams wanted him, also the extra incentive of I get to go move in with my girlfriend in Europe, and I get to play on one of the best teams in the world, and I get to keep playing Counter. Like, there was none of those small little factors to edge him towards Valorant. Everything was pushing him into CSGO. So I think that there's other examples like that, obviously, but I think that was the main reason you saw some people leave, and it's going to be the main reason why you see people come back.
I'm actually with you on that angle as well, where you tried to describe it as like the vibe, because it definitely does obviously have a total distant aesthetic in Valorant, and they've even implied, if you know, like obviously the people who made the game at the top level originally with the League of Legends people, even though they've got CSGO specific people in to help them, etc. Like, there is more of a vibe where I think they're just going to increase all of that sort of like weeb type shit even more. Yep. It's going to be more crazy ults and characters. Things are going to be open. So if you're a CSGO fan or player, it's also just a very different vibe. You're not going to be in that static CS environment where it's like, right, it's like a sport. It's like playing something like fucking baseball. Like, the sport itself's not going to change radically. It's about you. You work on your game and you try and master an element of it. Those games really are more about like what's cool and what are people liking and whoa, isn't this sick what I just did? Like, I can't lie. Every time I watch Valorant, which I occasionally do, like I do, it makes me the ultimate esports boomer, because anytime I see that fucking Jet agent do that ult where it throws, someone that throws the blades that people don't know, I just want to immediately close it down, because I'm like, look, even if like that was like good accuracy, this is just whack. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I know it's hating, but it makes me just want to close the stream down immediately, you know.
I can't watch it. I've tried. I can't watch it. I've talked to Alex about this before. I try so hard. I can't fucking do it. And I'm only like 25. Like, I'm not even a fucking boomer or anything. I know in CS terms I am, but I'm like, I'm not even fucking boomer or anything. And I know for sure, I know from talking to some of them, there is like players who were CSGO players who went to Valorant. And when Riot does those animation edits that are just like anime of Jet like jumping and flying and like throwing her knives and shit, like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck am I doing right now? Gee, thank God they're paying me $15 grand a month, because I can't fucking deal with this shit. Like,
dude, I think the worst ult for people that watch out there is the Viper ult. That shit is the just trashest ability in terms of viewability out there.
Which one is that one?
Viper is the one that the smoke screen girl with like the green balls and shit.
The green wall of.
So yeah, when she ults, it's a giant just green. It's just shit. It looks like shit too. That's the worst part about it, is that it's supposed to, like, the way it's programmed, you can tell it has to reach a certain amount of like distant units or whatever. Yes. So it has these like weird fucking walls all the time that it just randomly builds for itself. And it's seriously like the most unwatchable thing, because even the observers can't capture the action. There was a round recently, I think it was versus.
And they have really good observers, by the way. Really good.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's like Prius, Sapphire, whoever. Yeah, all the best ones. Like Prius and I think it was Sapphire probably was. I'm not gonna actually. You know what? I'm just not gonna throw anyone under the bus, because it's the ult that sucks ass. Okay, so basically,
just throw Prius under the bus. He's dog shit.
So DJ was observing this one, and basically it was Cloud9 versus, I forgot who they're playing in the quarterfinals, and it's like one of the most important rounds of the entire game, and literally the Viper ult goes up and they missed 5 frags consecutively, and I just don't even know, because the wall just showed nothing. Nothing was shown. They just showed the wrong person for like 3 seconds, and that's the whole round was over. And I was like, this is just like this. I can't watch this. And I was watching with friends too. I was even like, I was trying to get excited for it. They were interested, like some of my more normie friends and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck did we just see? Like, nothing. We saw nothing, guys. Like, we don't even, and we're just like, woo, fucking the team beat them with the kill feed. The kill feed showed us, guys. That was it.
Also, I've got to say,
I brought up at the beginning too, is that like Overwatch ran into the same problem. Overwatch ran into the same fucking problem. When you have all these abilities and so many fucking things going on, it's kind of like in League of Legends, you can, thankfully most team fights all happen in one spot, so you can just look at the one spot. Yeah. But you still, for people who don't watch, have no fucking clue what's going on though. Like, if you don't follow League of Legends, dude, even for someone who follows League of Legends, there's team fights where I watch, still hard, and until I see the slow-mo and watch and hear the analyst break it down, I'm like, oh, that's why. So
he's just watching health bars, basically. Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm like, oh, okay. And Valorant and Overwatch run into the same fucking problem, where the casual viewers watch it and think, oh, this looks fun, this looks cool, but then exactly what you just talked about, they're like, wait, but like what just happened though? Wait, what just happened? Like, I don't even actually know what just fucking happened. Like, I have friends who started watching Counter-Strike, never played it. Valorant came out, we're like, oh, this is fun, I'm gonna play this new FPS game because it's easier. Play Valorant, tried to watch Valorant, and we're like, can't watch Valorant, don't know what's going on. And that is a problem that they're going to run into eventually, as numbers are going to slowly keep going down, and they're going to run into that problem. And
here's the thing, though. In a few years, I could believe maybe it'll be ready for me. Like, if in a few years it really is just like all the big names are like, it's like either like people they grew like tens, etc., or like just players that come. The dream, obviously, with people who only played Valorant and become the best player, they become their version of Nico, etc. My problem as well is I would just tune into like those early lands, and it would be like, and here we have it, Boaster versus Shazam, who is the best in the world? And I was like, you know what? Close the stream down. It's not for me. You know what? Not for me, guys. This is a young man's game. Like, I'm out. I can't be doing that. Because the odds that these are all the best players. Come on, man. I've seen these guys and see. But first of all, who resurrected Shazam? And then secondly, Boaster, you can go look this up. Boaster was at a CSGO major. You're probably all thinking, really? Was it? Yeah, he was working in content at Faceit, at the Faceit London major. You can go look it up. And he was also in like literally a tier 1 million fucking team from the UK. I think it was, I don't even know which one it was. He was in one of those nobody UK teams in CSGO. The idea, like, it's like, and now he leads one of the best teams in the world. Fuck you. That's what I say. Fuck you. Here's the thing, for all I know, maybe he's an awesome guy. Maybe he's turned it all around. I don't give a fuck, mate. Fuck you. That's all I have to
I didn't even know who he was until you just brought up his name right now. So.
Exactly.
But I also don't follow Valorant at all. I just can't. I
no, it will to him.
I got offers from 2 orgs at the beginning of Valorant, like when it was first launching, before any of the VCS stuff, when it was first launching. Orgs came to me, David, do you want to build a Valorant team? I'm like, no, I don't like the game. I don't play it, and I don't want to do it. They're like, we're going to pay you X. I'm like, I don't want to. They're like, we don't care. We don't care. Just do it. And it was like, no, I don't like the game. I don't want to play it. And I will be a bad investment for you. And they're like, we just need CSGO names. That was literally
the best part of that equation is the idea that you go, look, I just fundamentally don't like the game, and they go, we'll double the offer. It's like, what are you talking about?
It wasn't quite double the offer.
No, but the idea that that's even like the thought process. Surely it's like, oh, well, he doesn't like the game. Well, better move on and get someone else. It's like, what if we pay you more money, though? Everything's about money, right?
That's how it was
money, you little
back then.
pig. Come on, little pig.
That's how it was back then, dude. That's how it was. I was like, no, I just retired from CS. I don't want to compete anymore, and I hate this game. Like, I don't want to.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and they were just like, and it happened to two. To be fair, only one org went that hard with it, but I got offers from 2, not quite 3, but 2 orgs for sure that were like, build this team for us. I was like, I don't want to, and they were like, please, please make a Valorant team. It's like, dude, no, this is stupid.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.